Welcome to my kitchen.
I feel like your kitchen's so large.
Thank you. All right. So, welcome to the feed from Likkle. I'm Alicia Hines, owner and operator of Likkle Jamaican Dumpling House and Library here in wonderful Brooklyn, New York. We are at 884 Fulton Street in the heart of Fort Greene. And I am really proud and excited to have our first esteemed guest here today, the Honorable Borough President, Mr. Eric Adams. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk about your book, Healthy at Last.
Yes.
When I saw that, I thought there was a perfect synergy in your experience, your food journey, and what I would like to do here with my restaurant, giving our community more healthy food options in a market where sometimes the choices are limited and the resources are not abundant.
Right. No, first of all, thanks so much for really opening your space and being creative in showing that, but food is powerful. So
Yes.
I don't think people realize the lubricating value of a meal, not only while you're eating it. People often think about eating and kind of in a conversation, but preparation. If you have a tough conversation you're going to have with your children about something, you should go in the kitchen and share a meal together. If you have to give them an announcement, or if you want to tell them how much you appreciate them, even if folks who are going through a tough time in their relationships with their spouses, they should just allocate, listen, this week we're going to cook together and we're going to just have an opportunity to talk to each other. And so I thank you for opening, your kitchen.
Thank you.
And letting me come in, and folks have not, visited you yet. I know they can't for the pandemic, but I believe they can take takeout.
Yes, they
They
can.
should come here, grab a book, and just look at how you lay out the place. But food is powerful.
So let's get started.
Yes.
I'm gonna put this on. And
This was lemon.
that's lemon juice. We're gonna put a little garlic and some ginger. And so before I add the other ingredients to the pan, I'm just gonna let folks know what we're doing. So we're gonna do a crispy tofu yakisoba noodle with carrot, enoki, and microgreens, and a little bit of cilantro. So now that we've got that going, I'm gonna add this to the pan.
Do you chop up the noodles, or do you just put
No, I like nice long noodles. This is a little messy today because
That's
they're
all
nice
good.
and fresh, but that's good. They're not broken up and they're nice and long.
And the noodles are what, whole wheat?
Whole wheat noodles, no egg, just water
Right.
and a little soda, and
And
roll
people
out.
don't even realize you can have, the whole wheat, the black beans, the
Vegetable lentil.
and they don't know the difference. When I serve it to my family, I wait until they finish eating.
And then you tell them
Then
what
I
was
tell
in
them
there.
what was.
So we're gonna add the carrot and the enoki mushroom. Yeah, my family is from Jamaica, and I guess we were kind of used to eating growing up. Like we were never allowed to have fast food or anything like that.
Love it.
I remember growing up going to the market for my mom on Saturday afternoons, because that's, after you clean the house,
Right.
you've gotta make lunch and dinner for the weekend. So this is a dark soy, mushroom soy, that I add to give a little bit of color
Okay.
and flavor. I'm just gonna add some water to kind of steam them out. And see, this is like a really simple
Right.
dish already. Don't mind if some of those carrots get caught under there. Alright.
There's an art to flipping.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit in the wrist, but you got a dark shirt on. I don't care about my shirt, and I don't want you to get. Go ahead. Let's get your skills off. Here we go. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. Yeah. Try to flick it back. Yeah, there you go.
So you flip?
Yes, perfect. Lovely. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Here are yours. Here's mine. We're gonna take a socially distant bite. So this is what we're gonna do, right? You're gonna grab your plate so that we're in the shot. Grab your plate, and we're gonna take our bites back to back, okay?
Wow. That's really good.
Thanks.
Home run. Home run.
What do you think of that tofu? I'm looking the other way. What do you think of that tofu?
I like as you press the water out. Wow.
And you see how quick that was?
Yes.
So we're here talking about Healthy at Last, a plant-based approach to preventing and reversing diabetes and other chronic illnesses. How about this? I'll just read a little bit because after all, I'm an English teacher, I can't help myself. For current and former police officers like me, comfort food means something deeper. It means safety. After responding to a multi-fatality traffic accident or to a murder, the last thing I wanted to think about was how healthy my food was. Picking up groceries at the store was not a priority. I needed food that would take the edge off. Psychologists have a term for what I experienced, vicarious trauma, also known as compassion fatigue. While on duty, I was calm and collected, but after, when I had time to process the horrors of the day, I relied on food as a coping mechanism. I self-medicated with Big Macs and milkshakes, French fries and chicken wings, Coca-Cola and nachos. And when I read that, I was really struck. The idea of having that compassion fatigue and then feeding it with something that isn't good for you.
Right.
So, you know, what was that for you? Did you think about that in writing the book? Were you sort of going back through that experience? And
you know, without a doubt, it brought back so many emotions. And it's not only unique to police officers, but think about it, you know, it's rarely talked about, the suicide and attempted suicide of teachers. You know, when you are a civil servant, no one is coming into HRA or ACS to invite them to a birthday party. They're coming in when the party went bad. And so our inability to, number one, identify trauma and really deal with that vicarious trauma that people are experiencing. Remember, all day, every day, you are taking on the trauma of the people. And we never knew the connection of food that would also add to the trauma that we are experiencing. And so, you know, when I dug into this, it was just mind-boggling to me how wrong we are. You know,
I mean, because I can imagine, you know, having to deal with certain things, dealing with it, and then walking up to a situation after maybe having just eaten not such a healthy meal.
Right.
And how that totally changes your approach to the situation.
Right. And,
you know?
And then you bring it home. And so you're trying to figure out, and that's very powerful what you are saying, because you're trying to figure out, okay, you know, I was just out here, I just saw this child abused, and, you know, I went and had that hamburger, that cheeseburger to get over it, and now I'm going home and I'm agitated.
I got sugar, I'm coming down from the sugar high, and I'm crashing, and I feel lower than I might have felt because of what I, you know.
So what am I going to do? Now I'm going to go get that scotch. You know, now I'm going to drink that 6-pack of beer. Now I'm going to, it's like a continuous cycle. Because the next day, you're back out there again, you know, shots fired. You know, you're walking inside a room somewhere And seeing someone shot several times. What are you going to do? I'm gonna go get that pizza, and that cake. I'm gonna crash down. And what am I going to do? I'm gonna go get the scotch. It's an endless cycle.
So, I mean, do you think that if restaurants got together and were like, make sure that, this precinct has something really yummy to eat, would that, do you think that they would be interested in something like that?
Right, that's a great question. It's in the police academy when you're learning your training. There should be a nutritional base, meditation, yoga, mindfulness, what food does to your body, how you manage stress, what stress does to you. There's a reason that law enforcement is one of the highest level of suicides, highest level of alcoholism, highest level of divorce, highest level
heart attacks.
Yeah. Right. There's a whole heart bill because you're more likely to get a heart attack. And so if we start in the beginning of the career of empowering people with the right nutritional tools, the right mental tools, and the physical tools. We focus so much on the physical aspects of policing instead of how do you become a well-rounded, better human being so you can police better and have a better interaction with your public.
Wow. Okay, that's really powerful. Thank you. I'm speechless, and that's rare for me. Wow. Well, I think that is a perfectly wonderful note to end on. I don't want to be abrupt. I hope that this will be the first of many conversations. So I don't want to take up too much of your time today.
Thank you.
But also what I did want to do is I wanted to give you a gift. I'm a teacher and I always give books. I can't help it. As you are embarking on this new food journey, I got you a cookbook by one of my favorite chefs, Yotam Ottolenghi. He does plant-based and vegetable, and his food is absolutely delicious and stunning.
Love it.
And really, he really pays attention to why he's cooking and why we're cooking what we're cooking.